lot of people are transitioning to tablets when we're playing music. Should you transition from paper to tablet? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer that question for you, so stick around to the end of the video. Hi violinists of YouTube, my name is Eric. Thanks so much for coming across this channel. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that way you get notified for when new videos come out. There are pros and cons to playing with an iPad, and there are also pros and cons for playing with traditional sheet music, paper. What are the pros and cons? Well, let's talk about the pros of the iPad or any tablet. It's pretty common amongst classical musicians to be using an iPad these days, and what you would use is an app from like Henley, Verklag, which they're really good in with the traditional edits that they have in the app. That's really cool, and you could also edit, do metronome markings, and etc. Let's talk about some of the pros for using a tablet for your sheet music. First of all, it's extremely convenient. It's really convenient because you can just download a piece of music from like IMSLP, or if you want to buy a certain edition from Henley, then you could download that onto your iPad and you get it right away. It's also very convenient for rehearsals that everybody is looking at the same part. For instance, if everybody is using an iPad, then everybody can make edits right away. Or if you're a composer and you're making edits right on the fly, you can send annotations and edits to every single person who's in the rehearsal room. What's also convenient about tablets and iPads in general is that you have a huge screen now, and you're able, it's kind of like a piece of paper, even I would say a little larger than an 8.5 by 11-inch piece of paper, and it's easy to write down with like an Apple Pencil. It's easy to make markings. It's just extremely convenient. However, does an iPad beat traditional paper? This is where the competition actually hypes up a bit, because me personally, I would use traditional sheet music for paper. And here's why. With paper, you don't have to charge paper. That's something that is such a downfall with using an iPad or using a tablet for sheet music, because I have seen on stage before where there's a person or performer using an iPad and they either receive the notification or they run out of battery. It does happen, especially if your screen is set on like maximum brightness, then the battery is gonna be drained a lot quicker. That is a major con about using an iPad in classical music, especially if you're in the middle of a performance. I can't imagine you losing power, or better yet, I've seen this before where you swipe a wrong way and all of a sudden you're not in the same location as your peers. And to be honest, you can't outsmart paper. But besides that, there's another pro that I can think of with the iPad, and that is for new music. New music scores are really complicated these days. Composers are trying to, push the boundaries, set the bar a little higher from previous generations, so the music is a little crazier. What's convenient about having an iPad is that you can look at an entire score on your iPad, and you can switch, you can minimize the image, you can, stretch the image out so that way it fits the screen. I think those are really convenient things. Unlike a traditional piece of paper, you're gonna have to flip through every single paper, and it's actually gonna cause a lot of noise during the performance. But I don't know, for me personally, I'm old school, so I would rather have traditional paper in front of me, because I'm a paper pencil kind of person. I need that texture, I need the sound, because I'm so anxious if something bad happens on stage, especially if I'm using an iPad. And anything can go wrong with technology, but nothing will go wrong with paper. So what are your thoughts on the whole debate? Would you rather use an iPad or would you use traditional paper? And I want to hear your comments down below, because this is a very interesting conversation as we head towards more technology driven pieces, and we're using iPads, we're using all sorts of stuff. And if you're new to the channel, I want to give you a special gift, and I want to give you an intro to violin course, and it's free of charge. All you got to do is just sign up for my newsletter, so that way you can get a hold of this free course. This is just for a beginner violinist who's new to the channel, who's curious about violin and want to know some steps before you actually start playing the violin. So I'm here to help you. I want to make sure that before you even start the violin playing process, that you have the right information, the right tools for you to get started. So I'll leave a link down below. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel for extra content, and make sure you sign up for the newsletter, so that way you get notified from when new videos come out, and you also get a free sample of that course. Thanks so much, violinists of YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video.